even the Malingo, and everywhere in Buea. I'm saying good morning. And those who are out of Buea, I'm saying good morning as well. Thank you once more for joining us on this exciting, and yes, it is the beginning of the week edition of your favorite show on High Television, Gbamu. Beginning of the week, because yes, we have taking time to make sure that we pack up lots of goodies for you, lots of goodies that are not just goodies, but I think we should call some of the goodies designers. Yes, it is time for us to make sure that we are done packaging, but now we are going to put the ribbons. We take on this musical break, and when we come back, it's just going to be you and I through this beautiful ride.
Go. Come on. Come on.
Sherry wabo wayema metinga te Anomo wabo nefe Bebela fama nefalo tam tam Ela basua nang tuetio Arabe kuti mojo Arabe kuti mojo Kore manya kore Arabe kuti mojo Arabe kuti mojo Arabe kuti mojo Kore manya kore Arabe kuti mojo
Madam to such a man got and duck, but I'm a comment now. Oh, no, go ye, oh, go ye.
I know what more, no, Mamma Timo never. Punya,
I never got to Montana.
Punya, I've been matching a while. Punya,
I never got to Montana.
Punya,
never my son in Korea. I know.
Bagana bonge sari mama no goyi.
No goyi.
Esa muna bonge retimani no goyi. Ano bebe wamo. Mama no. Ina zuko beye mano mama yoro. Bota no. Ano wamo. Ano wamo. Bota no.
Araba koti bonjongo. Araba koti bonjonga. Araba koti bonjonga. Araba koti bonjonga.
Kunya.
Araba koti bonjonga.
Kunya.
Araba koti bonjonga.
Kunya.
Araba koti bonjonga.
Kunya.
Yechin korenta iparan. Ono goyi. Ai. Yechin korenta nako. Ono goyi. Ai. Yechin korenta somabang. Ono goyi. Oh no, oh yeah. Oh no. Gore manya. Gore.
Nobody has a telephone. I know what me what me. Bébé, je suis fatiguée. I know what mon effort. J'ai beau aussi manger du saumon. I know what je suis pas le tam-tam. Oh no, I know what me what Punya.
Araba koti bonjonga.
Punya.
Gore manya, gore.
Punya.
Baba kongo ye.
Punya.
Oto go ime.
Punya.
Gore manya, gore.
Punya.
Araba koti bonjonga.
Punya.
Araba koti bonjonga.
Punya.
Araba koti bonjonga.
Punya.
Oh no.
Mambeno.
Let go.
Mambeno.
Let go.
Mambeno.
Let go.
kuto you walk a man.
Make you walk for mama. Mokorende. Komorime.
Mama, je suis pas un tam, man, you tell me for my sherry. Déjà là aussi manger l'opéro avec les bons obstacles.
Amazing time being in your company. That is why as the day breaks, I ask myself just one question: how am I going to be without talking to you guys? Like, how am I going to be without us having this moment? You know, it's a nice moment. It's not just nice, but I feel like I'm talking to a lot of persons right now, like you watching me this morning, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to miss you, even though you have not greeted me this morning, which is not really nice for friendship. I mean, it's not cool. So, like, you know, and like I promised, when we come back, we'll be talking a lot as far as the breakfast show is concerned. And this time around, we are beginning with the first slot of the day. Guess what? Just guess. Did you know? Yes, on our Did You Know page, we get to bring you interesting facts. Now, some of you might have not traveled before, like gone out of the country, or some of you have not been to certain places before. But guess what? Did you know? Maybe might just be taking you to Nigeria, taking you to Poland, taking you to Portugal, Brazil, and some other places in the world. I don't know if we'll be traveling today, but one thing I know is we're going to be finding about certain peculiar, interesting facts about certain countries, and some of those things that on a normal daily basis you wouldn't know about it, or it's difficult for you to just go to your phone and Google like what is the smallest park in the world, and so on and so on. So before I let the cat completely out of the bag, I just want to say we are going to unravel our topic of discussion very soon. And yes, that is why you're not supposed to touch that dial. Don't touch it, because very soon we'll be unraveling our topic of discussion, and I'm sure you must have something to say as concerns our topic of discussion. But before we do that, let's now talk did you know. So first, on our Did You Know page today, like I said, we are not, if you have not traveled before, just tell us there are certain things that we're just going to bring to you. So on our first aspect of Did You Know today, so did you know the look? Have you ever imagined, like, those who have traveled? I'm sure when you're traveling they tell you don't use your phone while the plane is on air, don't do this or don't do that. Some, like, your gadgets are supposed to be kept, even though most people that moment, like, you want to take the picture out the plane, the picture like out of the like by the window side, you have that beautiful view, and you just post and you're like, I'm leaving this country for you people, especially those who are saying that country too sweet for live, and they have left us, like they've left us in the country that they said is too sweet, country too sweet for live, and you're leaving us here. Like, we discuss on this, we're on this, right? So this is a representation of how thunderstorm looks like from the window of a plane. So like I told you, you've not traveled before, but we'll bring to you some of these little things. So if you wondered, like, maybe it's about raining and all of that, so from the side window, the side, if you're sitting, especially, that's why some people, when they're traveling, they love to sit by the window, be it clando, be it the bus, whatever the case may be. Especially the plane, you get to get all the, like, even it's not even about the view, because the view ends at a certain point and all you can see is just white. They ask, like, where am I? And then you start seeing houses like ants before you get down there. So don't ask me if I've traveled before. If I've not traveled, I do research. Okay, so this is how the thunderstorm looks like from the window of a plane. Too bad we can't get the all right. So that is how it looks like. So there you go. And if you're wondering, like, which one is it? Is it the one that is like, I should not be explaining you thunderstorm, shouldn't I? Like, should I be doing that? So, like I said, you've not traveled before, but we're taking you to places, like we're bringing you amazing stuff. So, if you're wondering, like, how does a view, what's the view of a plane? Like, I've never been in a plane before. I've never bought it, like a ticket to go to one country to just go enjoy myself and do stuff. So I'm wondering how it looks like. So that's it. We brought you thunderstorm, and then we moved over to the next one. So the next one, this time around, we are taking you to the mysteries of life. Is God not mystical? He's mystical, and he's just like, I think we should call him like we usually call the names, all the names that we can call him: omniscience, omnipresent. I think there's one name that I've not heard. In fact, magician, I don't know how to put it. There are so many names. So now this is a tree junction. Now I'm sure you didn't know about this, that is a junction. There's a tree junction of 3 different countries, the most awesome border in the world. Like, it's really beautiful. So there you have it. You have Portugal, you have Paraguay, rather, you have Argentina, and you have Brazil. So if you go to the other side, like, you just have one position and you have 3 different countries. So it's a tree junction of 3 different countries, and yes, it is the most awesome border in the world. So today you might want to argue, you might want to contribute to countries in the world, maybe borders or some other thing. Just tell somebody today, did you know there's a tree junction of 3 countries, and these countries are Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay. Now, if you didn't know, just spread the message and tell someone. That is why we say, did you know? It's called Did You Know, because I'm sure you didn't know about this. Yes. And we move over to the next. So who are the park lovers here? I love to go to parks. Like, I love places that are, especially the parks that are not noisy, because I don't know, it's like us Africans, we have just destroyed the whole idea of parks. You go to a park, they are selling alcohol this way, with people making noise, laughing. You go to this side, that's how, maybe, in fact, it's just so crowded. The environment, the scent, everything. Like, a park is not supposed to be like that. A park is supposed to be quiet, it's supposed to be serene, it's supposed to be, maybe there should be a spot. There's usually a spot where if you want to eat or you want to drink, you can go there, get something, and then you have this open space that has this this beautiful look, quiet. That's why people leave bars and go to parks. But these days, especially in Africa, it's like you're leaving the bar or you're leaving the snack and you're going to a park, and there's almost no difference, because they have just changed the whole idea of a park. A park is supposed to be a very quiet, serene place where you can go have a picnic there, have a quiet discussion. It's not a place where you go out here and Jani meeting now. You go out here end of year meeting. That's not the whole idea of a park. So talking about parks this morning, I was asking who the park lovers. I, for one, I love quiet places. I love places where I can just go, sit quietly, talk to myself. If I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to someone, but we're having a very serene moment. So I love parks. Definitely, I really, really do love them. So talking about parks this morning, now I'm going to tell you, I'm sure you didn't know. So did you know the smallest park in the world is a 2-foot circle? Now, it is found in Portland, and it's named Buea Park. 2-foot circle. I mean, you can imagine how small that is. Like, that is just the end. Like, that is just it as you're seeing it there. But it's a park. I don't know. It was named maybe after one person, but that's to tell you that that's the smallest park in the world. We have so many parks. We have big parks in the whole of Africa and the whole world, that if you want to name them, you go to some of them, it's almost like a town. Very, very big. Like, you can literally move from one end to, you can't move from one end to the other. Very, very big. And so we're telling you this morning that the smallest park in the world is a 2 feet circle. And where is it found? In Portland. And also it's named what? Buea Park. So that is it. And then we'll move over to the next. So like I said, you don't travel, but we bring you interesting facts. And yes, this time around we're talking about rainbow. So did you know the best place in the world to see rainbow is in Hawaii? Did you know? I'm sure you didn't know, right? Like the best place there. We usually see this thing in the morning, maybe in the morning or in the evening. One time, I think after 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock thereabouts, like when places are almost getting, darker, then you start, I don't know if someone has ever witnessed it, but most of us, if you pay attention, I'm sure you must have captured this moment. It's really, really beautiful. You find people taking pictures and putting it on their status, and the beauty of it is just so appealing. It's just so nice, like you could stay there watching it all through. And yes, so we're telling you this morning, for nature lovers, some people are really weird. Somebody might just want to travel to see something and come back like, I was there, I watched it. That's to tell you, especially those who have money and they don't know what to do with the money. Imagine someone traveling to go and see the rainbow in Hawaii. Oh my god, like seriously. But there's someone who can actually do that. So if you're thinking of where to go for your vacation and you just want to see a rainbow, then you know where to go to right now. So we're telling you that the best place in the world to see a rainbow is in Hawaii. So that is it. And then we move over to the next. Did you know? I love photographers. These guys, they take their time in doing. I feel like they are patient, especially the ones that take photos of babies. Oh my gosh, I attended a commercial one time. I was part of it actually, and these kids, they had to do a commercial for this lollipop. So my goodness, these guys, kudos to photographers. Like you tell them to do one thing and then they're doing the other. So when they are supposed to cry, when they're supposed to smile, that's when they are crying. Like photo shoots, you can literally take the whole day to get one beautiful picture of one child, because the moment the child is about smiling, that's when it's really, really cumbersome. Like it's tiring. These guys, kudos to photographers, kudos to videographers. It's not an easy job when it comes to kids and all of that. So that was just an outside, but now we're talking about photographers. So this image that you see here, it's actually the sun setting on a railway. And guess what? The photographer had to wait every year until the sunrise reflected on the railway track. Gosh, I like these guys, they have patience. So what you see, they imagine that it's beautiful, right? Like if you look at the view, just have a picture of it. But like it took the photographer years to have that. Like every day, like almost every month or every day he comes, like he was literally, I don't know, maybe it was one spot there, and then he checks from time to time if the sun has set on the railway, so he can get that beautiful image. If you know what these guys go through to get pictures that you see on the internet, you see online, you're like, wow. Some of them edited, yes, but this is a real one. Like that is it. He actually waited for years. He did not just take the sun and just edited and put on the railway. Some people can actually do that, but this guy took his time, waited for the sun to set on the railway. So I'm sure you didn't know about that. Yes, so we move over to the next on our Did You Know page, and this time around we are talking about something here. So did you know that the view from the top of the world of Mount Everest, did you know the view? I'm sure you didn't know the view because you've never been to. I myself, why am I saying you as if me have been there? So we have never been to space. Like, oh no, we've not been to space, so we cannot even tell. But on the Breakfast Show, we bring you amazing and interesting facts. And now I'm telling you that if you didn't know, just know now that this is the view from the top of the world, and which is Mount Everest. So yeah, if you want to For those who love traveling, like I said, those who just want to, go around the world and have a nice time. So maybe you want to check that, like you can tell the pilot to take you around so you can have the view. This was just an aside. And that is how we come to the end of our Did You Know page this morning. I hope if you forget everything, don't forget about the smallest pack, which is the 2 feet circle. And don't forget about the tree junction. I think that was my most amazing. Yes, the tree junction where you have Argentina, you have Paraguay, and you have the other countries. So don't forget. Hey, don't forget about those. If you can forget about any other thing, don't forget about those. So that is what we had for you as far as Did You Know page is concerned. And gosh, I think it's time for us to wrap up with this and talk about our topic of discussion. But before we talk about our topic of discussion, let's go get I think it's Tuesday and so many people off to school, off to work, especially school. Now we are talking about school. You have so many of them running helter skelter for the 7 o'clock class, for this, for that. Some of them went in to study what their friends decided to study. Some of them went in to study what their parents choose for them. Some of them went to study what society thinks can be good for them and give them jobs. But let's get a little orientation from this video.
Mojoko in the studio, and Elela Gbamu to all our viewers out there. Today is the 17th of October, the official opening date for the school year 2023-2024 for the higher institutions of learning. And here we are at JSF Polytechnic in Buea, where 2 days have been dedicated to orientation for students coming in for the first year, the freshmen. As we talk to the president of JSF Polytechnic, Mr. Chijo Marcellus, orientation for freshmen is very, very important. Take a listen and watch what he says. Over to you in the studio.
It's the start of the 2023-2024 academic year at JSF Polytechnic, and this morning we just started with orientation of the new students. Orientation is basically meant to introduce the freshmen and women from high school or whatever their situation may be into the university system. It's a bit, it's very much different being in high school and you suddenly find yourself in a university. So this morning we've spent some time trying to talk to them about being in the university. So first we started, the first presentation came, which had to do with the school, the JSF Polytechnic as a higher institution of learning. We talked about from the creation of the institution, the authorization, we moved to the various schools or programs that we run, and we moved to organizational structure of the institution. Then the second paper came to talk about just being in the university per se. What is the difference between being in high school and being in the university? So that was the second presentation. The third, which is just about to end now, is actually talking about life in Buea. Life in Buea. We try to present the good side of Buea. We try to even draw the attention of the students to some ugly things which they may equally come across in Buea. At the same time, trying to caution them, because here in Buea, you find you can actually become a wonderful person as well as you can get derailed. This will end today with a small meal, which we use that to welcome the students on campus. We'll continue again tomorrow. Tomorrow there will be 2 key or 3 key presentations. We'll talk about the issue of courses, the timetabling, how it works, and on other extracurricular activities of the institution. Then the student association will come in to present their own kind of activities that they intend to carry out within the academic year, and that will end again with another meal with the new students. We do that in order to welcome them to Buea. Then at the end of the day, we share the timetables. So that Thursday early in the morning there will be takeoff of effective lectures. So that's exactly what we are doing within these 2 days. You see, the staff are actually involved with ensuring that the students are given the right information. When you don't orientate the students, they get it from the street. They will get it from the street. Some children have come here with some pre-prepared ideas. Imagine that you've spent maybe 7 years of your study in a dormitory school, or you've come from maybe a certain village setting, and you suddenly find yourself renting a room in Buea. There's a tendency that you can get derailed. Or some people have a lot of mixed ideas about university life is all about. So it's good that we spend our time trying to let the children know. We even tomorrow we're receiving a paper which I was even about forgetting. There's a paper about career options for all our specialties. Career options. That means we talk to children. What are those openings that they have as in terms of employment opportunities? So there will be another presentation on that. I think there are about 3 other colleagues that are just to do that. We go school by school. We take health and we talk about it. We take own economy, we talk about it. We take business related, we talk about it. It may be a very lengthy paper, but we'll try to streamline it to make sure that we give the students just the essentials. Sometimes doing all of that may help some students reorientate their mind. So that's exactly what we shall be doing these 2 days, today and tomorrow. Effective lectures will begin 8 o'clock on Thursday.
Many thanks to Adeline and Uniform. That was a little presentation from the proprietor of JSF Polytechnic Buea. And yes, we are right now diving into our topic of discussion. So I was having a nice time over the weekend at this event, poetry slam event. It was an amazing time. We just came together to have this moment of talk peace with all that has been going on in the country. So this young guy, pen boy, is doing an amazing work out there. And yes, this was taking place at Sinclair. My goodness. So when I stopped from the taxi and entered there, and somebody saw me, I think a long-time friend of mine, and she was like, she was outside. Yes, I stopped from the taxi, she was outside, then I was about getting in. And then she was like, Rita, long time, we greeted ourselves, blah 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 blah. So she was like, hey, what are you doing here? And then this there's this countenance, so somebody can ask you a question and then the person is like, hey, what are you doing here? It's been no, but you're like, your countenance is like, this place, I don't know, there's this feeling like, what could she be doing here? Like she continued like, what are you doing here? It's like, I'm an event here to attend. I'm actually going for a poetry slam event. She was like, okay. Oh. And the countenance was not really that. I was like, in this 21st century, like 21st century, like people do so many things in hotels. So our topic of discussion today is, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you see someone in a hotel? What's the first thing that comes to your mind in a hotel premises? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see someone in a hotel premises? Just let us know, because these days I'm like 21st century. People have meetings in hotels, people organize events there, people go for seminars, people go for, there are so many things. Like gone are those days, except I don't know how I can put it, but gone are those days when when we hear of hotels, we start here, or the only thing you can think of, we know the things, right? But nowadays it's not the case. Like you find someone in a hotel and you're giving attitude like, damn, that's a place, that's a business place, and there's so many things that go on there. There are so many things that one can go there. Like I said, an event, it could be a business meeting, it could be so many things. So the next time you see someone in a hotel, please, in fact, before I even say the next time, let us know in the comment section, what is the first thing that comes to your mind, or how do you feel when you see someone in a hotel premises? Whatever the case may be, just let us know your experience or your thoughts about seeing someone in a hotel premises. And that is our topic of discussion this morning. So it's been a thing of talking. Like I said, gone are those days when people use hotels just for one purpose. That's before, I think we should put that before like we should put it back in the days of like 1960. Those days are gone. This time around, people are doing lots and lots of work. They are, you know, having their seminars, having their meetings, having their workshops, so many other things. So the idea of seeing someone in a hotel, please, is no longer. But anyways, you can please tell us your experience. And I was talking to a friend the other day. I asked her this same question because I posted a picture and she was like, hey, it's like I know this place. She was like, so I asked her a question. I was like, so what's happening? She was like, no, there's this particular place. I don't want to call the name of the place, but she said there's this particular place. When you post a picture there, or if you're in Buea and they see you there, people start thinking otherwise, because it's known to be the place where most young girls, like, no, young girls in Buea, some girls in Buea go there, you know, to meet up with rich men and all of that. I was like, ooh, I mean, some of us don't know some of these things that are happening in Buea. So she was the one that was giving me these insights, and she was like, that's what the place is known for, like the environment. So we're just talking about different places, and then she mentioned this particular one, and she was like, that's how it's known for. So if you tell somebody that you even live around there, if it's a guy, the guy automatically starts looking at you differently because you live around that vicinity. So you know, if a place is known for promiscuity and some other stuff, by the time you tell someone, okay, I live around that place, the person starts like, okay, since you live around that place, there's a probability that you just move from, you know, from your room to your parlor, then to the place. So so there's this atmosphere of, you know, there's this tense atmosphere, there's this uncomfortable atmosphere once you just tell somebody that, okay, this is where I live, or I live around this place, or the person even sees you around that vicinity. Like I said, I'll not mention the place. If you want to know, go and ask Gist in Buea. They'll tell you it's not me that you're going to get from my mouth. That usually the fishermen at down beach catch fish and sell. Is the same thing now. So if you want to get a gist, go and pinch somebody. And somebody was saying that if you want to know that your girlfriend is cheating on you, insult her friend, insult her best friend. That's when you will know. That's when you will know that something is going on behind. So if you want to know that, if you want to know these things that are happening in Buea and some other places, you know, there's a catches of other places, you can pinch somebody that knows somebody that is gistable, that can gist you the matters. But as of now, the topic of discussion is still there. You can send us a text message, or you can send us a text message via WhatsApp, or you can send us an SMS, whatever the case may be. Just let us know where you're watching us from, so we can greet you too. Yes, I want to call your name this morning. I just want you and I to have a good time together. I can't be here alone, so I'm waiting for your contribution. Tell us where you're watching us from, and tell us what you think about this particular topic of discussion today. What comes to your mind? What do you think, or how do you feel the moment you see someone in a hotel premises? What do you think? Do you just think that the person went there to do something, or will you be thinking that the person went there to, you know, have a business meeting, or have a, you know, went there for a workshop? Just tell us how you feel, and please be sincere. Yes, be sincere, because some of these stereotypes need to be, you know, debunked. We need to talk about them, and we need to make sure that we trash them right here on this table. So we are ready. I am ready to shake tables, so I'm waiting for that, your contribution, so I can go ahead and shake the table, so that our viewers can know a lot more about what is going on. So this time around, hey, it's Pink October. Yes, it's Pink October, and we've been hearing stuff like you know, it's for the fight against breast cancer. You know, the information is going on and on. So this particular month is dedicated, and it has been kept aside for the fight against breast cancer. And we know women are are the ones who are mostly affected by this particular illness. Yes, they are the ones who are mostly affected by breast cancer. So there is a lot of talk going on. Yes, some guys saying, I'm sure this particular one is from guys who say that ladies should go and give their breasts so that they can talk, so that they will not suffer from breast cancer. Oh my god, like, what the, please, no. There are other prevention methods, and there are lots of them that we can use, not just going to guys. Please, I beg you. Whoever said that thing, I'm sure said it for their own good, which is not the case. So this time around, we are going to meet Princess Alice, who met this lady concerning an expert as far as a therapist and an expert as far as breast cancer is concerned, to tell us what it entails for women to do so that they can prevent this breast cancer. We take on this interview. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, it's October. It's Pink October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So what are you doing? Government organization, non-governmental organization are out. It's Pink October, where a month whereby we create awareness on breast cancer. We are preaching prevention. So please, on your social media platforms, send out messages, key messages against breast cancer. And breast cancer, take note, does not only occur in women. Men too are likely to have breast cancer. So this is Pink October. Let's go pink.
Yes, that was a little talk from her, and that was a little one just to tell us that we can fight it. And yes, you can fight it, I can fight it, just anyone can fight it. So we should stand our grounds, we should be on our feet, and we should spread the message. We should be together so that we can fight against this breast cancer. Yes, women are the ones who are mostly affected as far as breast cancer is concerned. And yes, I'm repeating it again, the aspect of going to give your breast, my sister, it will not prevent the breast cancer from coming. So please don't go and give your breast. Please take precautionary motives. Yes, take different methods. And she was telling us, just giving us the courage that we need as women as far as breast cancer is concerned. Yes, it's Pink October. It is Pink October, and as we all know, there are strong women out there who are survivors. There are some who are still battling with this issue of breast cancer. But if you want to if you want to keep a healthy lifestyle, then I'm sure there are some of the things that we ought not to do as women. And it's not just about you hearing it from us, it's not just about hearing it from the doctors. There is a free screening at the hospital, and since it's the celebration of the breast, this month has been set aside to fight breast cancer. Why don't you just take yourself to the hospital and do some checkups? Check the lumps in your breast, check what is going on. Are you having lump in your armpit, or whatever the case may be? Take yourself to the hospital, and if you notice any itch, whatever the case may be around your breast, please rush to the hospital. And another one to women, as a woman, if you're not a breastfeeding mother, there is no reason why milk, or I should call it liquid, should ooze from your nipple. So if you are witnessing certain some of these signs and symptoms, please, then definitely, even if you've not yet witnessed, it's good to always go to the hospital and do some checkups, because people have different systems. Somebody might be suffering from a particular illness, but it takes years for that person to realize certain signs and symptoms, while others realize it with immediate effect. But what if you're that person that needs to take years, and before you go to the hospital, it's at stage 4, and it becomes a very, very difficult moment for you? So take out time, go to the hospital, do some checkups, and fight breast cancer. Yes, enough with breast cancer. I'm still waiting for your contribution. What do you think about people when you see someone in a hotel premises, or what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see someone in a hotel? Just let us know in the comment section, and tell us your perception about hotels, or what are your thoughts about hotels. We take on this musical break, and when we come back, I'm sure you and I are going to be talking a lot more about our topic of discussion. Don't go anywhere.
Nabongo mbo ekukumba nabongo singi esikwatimba nde na nyipe miela ni matukwende eyobo deseto idemu atitingi ya mnyalunge na madango pondonge ya lunge lino oninge ya lunge na matanga mawama mitango na misosi na tena wone habonate mindi mabube mosoto bebe Namakila bonde malondo mamikelela Oninge ya lunge na matanga mawam Bebongo ba mangolo be pume de pasi ne pasi Mi kanjo maupeo wasime dasi dasi Ambu awoyole Amangolo wakoso Nduna sombo mbana ibeni punda Na mapondo pondo nende nanade Na mapata pata ne ponde nanade Oninge alunge Na benga isangi musono moye no puma puma neye Bekonkon la mawenja pebe ponu pepila neye Mindenge mami malondo ndoli no jene na Ase mindenge ntike Ase mindenge ngume Ase mindenge uja Uja luge ponde ye bambange Difio woyombo Suwele sanje yese umbanamba Munduna sumumba kwele keso sumu Namani ame pondi nabana teme Namani ame pondi nabana teme Namabodu mene pondo wasa nyumbulana Namabodu mene pondo wasa piande Mbanambale niye abona iyo Namabodu mene pondo wasa nyumbulana Namabodu mene pondo wasa piande Tete kombo mbasandine mama matanga Unjalunge ponde yembambange
Unjalunge ponde yembambume
Unjalunge ponde yembambume obuluba
Unjalunge ponde yembambange
Ndengu le mange ya miapi Nana biya ukata kata ne To, aso Bata Wewenge Jo kolo la lata Wewenge
Jo kolo lo imalata soe
Amuna sawasa
Sa ambaspe
Sanje Sa
Ambaspe
Amuna sawasa
Sa ambaspe
Sanje motete na myudi masue
Sanje ombo wasawa
Sanje oba kosi Oba kwedi Oba yangi Oba rombi
Sanje ombo wasawa
Sanje momongo mwese Oruwala mbera mbongo
Sanje ombo wasawa
Sanje la bongo sungu Na die nyese
Sanje ombo wasawa
Sanje mankam ho nimbo wasale
Sanje ombo wasawa
O Cameroune Moto tena la udongo Moto tena maumyanoe Mbwani To Wewenge
Jokolo di kololo imalata soe
We na mendebe masunga Masukrande na Buea Na idie mwenji Sa Amlango sa banetemo sekumenete yo njeje say sanje na numsa ne pete biomumbu njeje say Zarko njebo kise oya barbe sawai sawai das yeah das broda das obi pindi das
Welcome back, and yes, we are still right here because the breakfast show hasn't gone anywhere, and yes, we still have a lot in store for you as far as this morning is concerned. And yes, we are talking about our topic of discussion. Before we took that musical break, we were talking about our topic of discussion, and which is, what do you think about hotels? And better still, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you see someone in a hotel? It could be in a hotel premises, whatever the case may be. So just let us know your thoughts as far as hotels is concerned. We take on this first message, and this person says, good morning to you in the studio. It depends. Some could be there for an affair, some could be there looking for jobs, and some could be there just to relax. This is Paul from Bunduma. Thank you so much, Paul from Bunduma. And Paul is telling us, just like I said, that it depends. Some could be there for, you know, an affair. It could be an affair. It could be anyhow you want to take the affair, whether it is woo and woo or it is woo and not woo. But just know that it's an affair. So Paul is saying that it depends. Some could be there for an affair. Some could be there looking for jobs. Really? Do they look for jobs in a hotel? I don't know, but I'm still trying to find out. Like, okay, maybe you heard there's a vacancy and then you went there to drop your CV, or to, you know, look for the job, or to look for a job as a cleaner or as a waitress or whatever the case may be. Okay, that's what Paul is telling us this morning, that some could be looking, some could be there for an affair, and some could be looking for a job. Yes, but if there is no vacancy notice out, so why would you be looking for a job in a hotel? But that's for Paul. And yes, some could be there looking for a job, no matter how I want to twist it. Okay, and Paul still says some could be looking, some could be there just to relax. Yes, people take themselves out on vacations and they have a very good time with themselves. You can decide to just take yourself out, you know, rent a guest house or rent a penthouse, I don't know, rent you know, take a room, a classy one, a 5-star, or no, please, not 5-star in this economy now. You pay rent. Take, you know, a standard, you know, room, you know, have a nice time. Just press one, just decide that today I'm not going to do anything, or it's the end of the year, I'm going to take myself out. Take yourself out to this classy, you know, it could be a 3-star hotel or a 2-star hotel. Take yourself there, you know, and relax. You just sit, wake up in the morning and press one button for them to bring you breakfast. In the afternoon you press another button for lunch to meet you, and in the evening you press another button for dinner to meet you. My sister, you will not die. My brother, you will not die. Just relax. The thing is, there are so many you know, problems out there. People are going through a lot, and you hear cases where people have worked all their lives, they've been saving up, and before you know it, bam, something happens and they are gone. Or before you know it, sickness comes. Before you know it, this trouble comes. They realize that all the money that they have worked in their life, they have not even been able to eat in this life, because they need to provide for others, they need to secure this, they need to do that, they need to do this. But let's say all of this, you know, while you were going through these struggles, you took out time. Trust me, I trust myself with that one. Please, I beg. Like, there are so many things for us to be worried in this life about. So every weekend, if you have an occasion, please just call Rita. Just call me. What is it? Like, I take time, dress up, put my heels, go out and have some fun, because there's a lot of work and your brain, you need time to relax. Whether we like it or not, some people say, you're relaxing when you have not made money, you're relaxing. Okay, what do you even know how long you're supposed to live in this life? Like, think things are happening. People are just these days, before you want to hear somebody is dead, before you want to know somebody has traveled, before you want to know maybe that friend of yours has done this. So it's a lot is happening. People are going through their daily activities, they are making their lives, and before you know it, you might just be there, struggling and struggling and struggling. And somebody once said, you should never settle for, like, you should not be that kind of person who would say, I can never settle for less, because you never know tomorrow. My sister, please, my brother, please, if you want to struggle not to settle for less, don't settle for the less. Because in fact, why still in the less? Struggle to move out of that less. Like, struggle, take steps every day to move out of that less. Let your brain be kicking. Somebody was asked the question, what is their what do they do with their time? Like, what makes them to be better? Creative thinking. Overthink. If your brain needs to kick, if you need to have headache because you're thinking of how to make it in this life, or you're thinking of the next business idea, or the next step that you can make it, or the next thing that you can add value to your life, my sister, have the headache. That headache is permitted. My brother, have the headache. Like, let your head ache because you're thinking of what next to do with your life. It's very, very important. It doesn't mean that you should just enjoy. After that enjoyment, when you come back from that party, or you come back from that nice time, remove those heels, put them down, and ask yourself whether this is the light. Just ask yourself certain questions. Sometimes talk to yourself in the mirror. I do that a lot. If you come to my house, you might think it's just both of us that are living there, but I'm alone. I talk to myself. Sometimes I speak and then I answer. I'm not mad. It's just one of those ways to always keep yourself intact. If you want to do something, sometimes I want to do something, I'm like, Rita, your hair correct, like, what are you doing? Like, what's that? But I'm talking to myself, but I'm making an impact. It's like me giving myself feedback, talking to myself in one way or the other. So whatever the case may be, yes, we're just on what Paul said. Thank you so much, Paul, for contributing. And just like Paul said, some people go there to look for jobs, some people go there to relax, and some people go there for an affair, as we all know. But it's the affair part that is suiting me. I was waiting for somebody to say it. But yes, there is another amazing part about the jobs and about the relaxation. Take yourself out. Spare 10,000 francs. If you cannot go and rent if you cannot go and get a room, spend 10,000 francs. Go to this nice classy restaurant that has air conditioner, nice setup, nice place. Climb the stairs, dress up, eat the food. It's your money. After you eat the food, clean your mouth and go to your house and sit and bed, drink water. That is it. You cannot come and hear yourself. It's end of year. You have been spending money. Go and spend some for yourself. Okay, so that was it. Thank you so much once more, Paul. And this time around, we are going to be, yes, we are still within the corridors of our topic of discussion this morning. I mean, it's amazing to know that, yes, people do use hotels for different stuff. Okay, so we take on this other comment, and this person says, hey Rita, good morning in the studio. How are you doing today? I'm doing great. Oh, it's amazing when people ask me how I'm doing. But yes, I'm doing great. I'm also very, very awesome. And the person says, hey Rita, good morning in the studio. How are you doing? I just answered that. Okay, so I for one thing that hotels are meant for different purposes, but in Africa, I think that has been forgotten and instead used for one main purpose that we know, which is usually the reason why people look at hotels with different way. Okay, so this person is saying that hotels, oh yeah, but you didn't tell us where you're watching us from. Please next time don't be anonymous, just tell us where you're watching us from. Let's greet you from here, like from Malingo, Buea, live at High Television. Let's greet you. Okay, so this person is saying that hotels are usually meant for different purposes, but now she's saying in Africa, people have decided to use it for the main thing that we all know, and mostly for certain ill practices, and that is why people now look hotels in a different way. Actually, I think it's before that we should take that statement back in the days, then bring it now, because back in the days, you know that if you're going to a hotel, you start hearing stuff, because at first we hardly had seminars, workshops, business, or it was, let's say if we take us back to 2000 or 1994, 1992, you know, people did not really, they were not really civilized, and you know, how can I put it, the economy was not like it is right now. But now people know that I can take my business to a hotel. I can have my meeting there so that my clients are relaxed, and after that we can have something to eat, and so on and so forth. So it is no longer the case of you know, just having what people think. That's what this person is saying. So there are different purposes, but I think we should, now the society looks at it that way because of the way we have branded it, and because of the kind of things we hear going on. But does it mean that we should remain in that position? Does it mean that we should continue being or accepting what is going on? Definitely no. So she's telling us this morning that it's as a result of our environment, as a result of the community, as a result of what we do too. That is why people look at hotels the way they do. But please, like Paul, hotels, there are so many purposes: jobs, you know, relaxation, and so many other things. So I'm sure this person who sent this message is simply telling us that we should limit the way we also, you know, talk about these things, or the way we go on. I mean, you should feel free. Imagine you going into a hotel and you see this friend of yours and you're hiding. My dear, if you're hiding, it definitely means that you have an ulterior motive, or you are not comfortable at that moment, or you see somebody at one end and you start telling the person who is seated beside you, I don't want this person to see me. The question is, what are you doing there? Is it, or you see your pastor, let's say you're going into a hotel and you see your pastor and you start, like there was one time I think I met with, there were actually three of them. I don't know what like this, but there were three of them. That is my deacon, my pastor, I think, and my elder. So I was going out of this particular hotel, and they were I think they were entering or so. And then I greeted them. They're like, oh, Vita. The way they greeted me, I was just like, okay, these people, because we know this generation now, even especially people who are very, very spiritual, they tend to keep certain things at the back of their mind. So, but I was free. The way I greeted them, I was like free, because at the end of the day, it's not like I went there to do something stupid, or how can I put it, I don't have that archaic mindset about hotels, so I should not even feel bad. But imagine that probably I saw them and I didn't want to greet them because they saw me in a hotel. Only the fact that I decided not to greet them, or I decided to stay away, already rings a bell, because they had already seen me. Had it been that I behaved as if I did not see them, so tomorrow they'll be like, okay, we saw Sister Rita in this hotel, and she was like, she did not see us. Probably she went there to see one man, or she went there to do one thing that she feels like probably we have seen her and she's going to. But I felt comfortable because I was already comfortable in the first place. So I greeted them, and that was how we exchanged, you know, greetings. And I go my way, they go their way. They went to do whatever they had to do there, and I also went my way. So that was it. Then the next Sunday we met in church, and everything. Had it been I was behaving in one way, like kind of, you know, very naive, or, you know, shy or something, that would have been, you know, a huge bell. That would have been something really, really terrible. So thank you once more to Paul and the other person who decided not to greet us this morning. So you asked me, how am I doing? I'm going to ask you anonymously, how are you doing? I hope you're doing okay, and greet anybody around you that is watching the show this morning. So yes, we have been talking about the topic of discussion. I'm still waiting for yours as far as the morning show is concerned. Don't move a muscle. I think we're going to take on this musical break, and when we come back, we continue. Please don't go anywhere. Let me just catch a bite, or should I say a sip of water. It's not yet time to eat.
Exclusives. package cut savage. You cannot cheerleader. You lose a thing called freedom, but for this long guy go better. And get it to me to bum dum door. The time one magical balance today, darling. That I cannot longer go hungry for days because of you.
Oh, you're gonna cause me, my mother, only a man away come here, I keep on it. Oh, when son and man, I've been my mother, how you hold my head. I'm a cat and then a hurry. She has to enemy. I'm a bad tap on the night. She had a solid unique, and you hold my head. When they come in and don't know, and you hold my head. When they come in and don't know, and you hold my head. Oh, oh, way. And don't know, and you hold it. Oh, oh, oh. When they come in and me like we are, oh, if I am an also me to Buea, and I'm in tears by the gratitude. Yeah, but I'm here, I'm a pull on it over here. Now, someone can call me, and we land. Oh, if I have a man, also me, oh, he long way up, so man, also me. Now, in the man, I said, no, how they come out. Up in a colony, thank you. Manamuna, the command, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Chica música africana.
Now saw me, now saw me, now saw me.
Música africana.
Now saw me, now saw me, now saw me.
Amazing time still in the company of you. Yes, still, in fact, we are in each other's company, right? I'm sure those who are watching us this morning are still right there. And yes, we are about continue. In fact, we are continuing the show. What am I saying? Yes, we are continuing the show this morning. And yes, just so you know, we have amazing slots as far as the show is concerned. And yes, we've been talking about Pink October. We spoke about, you know, orientation. We talk about so many other things. And yes, hotels is on the list of our table, shaking the tables this morning. So this time around, we are diving straight away onto something else, which is what the newspapers are talking about. And we have the prolific Larry Etengeneng in the building. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning to you, Mujoko. Good morning to our viewers. Good morning to everyone. And you are welcome to this part of the program reserved for the newspapers.
Thank you. And there's this saying that the farmer does not go to the farm without his tools.
Yeah.
I can see you have your tools with you.
Yeah. We have some of the papers that we will be reviewing for this morning. That is Tuesday, the 24th of October 2023. Viewers, let's move on to business. Good morning once again to our viewers of the breakfast program Gbamu on High Television. You are welcome to the paper slot. We start off today's edition of the paper review. We're going to start with the first newspaper for this morning. That is Mutation of Thierry Diaga. For this day talks of the Supreme Magistracy, the Council of the Supreme Magistracy. It says the subscribers of absence, that's what you can find on that paper of Thierry Diaga. We take you to this program, Cameroon and these other issues. Well, that is high cost of living in the country, how prices of basic commodities like eggs, chicken, and other items are soaring in terms of prices. Get to read that story on Mutation for this morning. Moving now next door to the Guardian Post. The Guardian Post for this day says race to STF chairmanship. Who among them can fit into Frunzi's big shoes? That's the question the Guardian Post of Christian Guy is asking for this morning. Tony Olimelu, the CEO and founder of United Bank for Africa (UBA), he talks of leading by example. Tony Olimelu's leadership principles. Get to read more on page 9 on that set paper. Cameroon to set to host the 44th Ministerial Conference of La Francophonie. That was what was revealed yesterday by the Minister of External Relations, Lejeune Belambela. International Credit Union Day says Rainbow Cam engages higher education students for job markets. Get to read more on the pages of the Guardian Post for this morning. We'll now move over to municipal updates. Municipal updates of Victor Cham 2 have a similar caption to that of the Guardian Post, talking of the SDF. It says SDF succession battle when insider becomes outsiders. That is what you can find on page 5 and read details on that story of the G27 that were expelled by late Chairman Nijon Fronte. We'll move over to GC Board Registrar Jenny's home on the 28th of October. Presume that is this Saturday. That will be interred in Buea. Let's dive away from municipal updates. We'll talk on quotidian emissions for today. It talks of chicken, cement, and bread. It says the offensive of basic prices that have been put in place by the Ministry of Trade of Braga Tanganang to make sure that prices of chicken, cement, and bread are being put to the basic terms. You can find details on that story for today. SDF, it says why the justice system actually dismissed the case that was filed at the Fundi High Court by the G27 members of the SDF political party. We'll move over to JNES 2023. It talks of the cap of unity and economic and social structures. Where these are the highlights of that conclave. You want to find details on that story on page 2. L'actu sport for today says Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury, the fight of the year. That is what you can read on that set paper on Actu Sport for this morning. Moving over to female football, the paper report on the commencement of the Super League of the Guinness Female League. You can find that story on that set paper. World Cup Rugby says the finals of the Titans as the Springboks of South Africa gets to showdown with the All Blacks for the finals of the World Rugby Championship. Away from sports, we'll move over to Info Show. Let's Info Show for today talks on the measure or the collaboration between Joseph Antoine Bell and Samuel Eto'o. He titles that as the Bell League. That's a question that paper is asking for this morning. CPDM Delicate Division of the Central Region, he says Andre Ebe IEC mobilizes militants of the ruling Cameroon's People's Democratic Movement Party in Delicate Division for their call or for the president Paul Biya to stand for another mandate come 2025. We'll take you now to entertainment with Midi Action. Midi Action newspaper talks of General Valsoro and Chris N that had a great showdown in Kigali in Rwanda. This entertainment took place over the weekend in the East African nation of Rwanda. SDF, it talks of the three candidates that will be going in for the top job of the SDF political party. The paper is asking today if they are qualified to steer the affairs of the major opposition party to her heydays of the early 90s. That is what you can read on that said publication for today. Cameroon Tribune for this morning comes back to the 44th conference of ministerial conference of La Francophonie. It says Cameroon is ready. This is the announcement that was made yesterday in Yaoundé by the Minister of External Relations, Eugene Belam. Rice supply distribution importers call to order. Get read details on that story on page 8 to page 9 on Cameroon Tribune newspaper for today. MTN Elite One Championship, Dynamo Star Arena consolidated leads. You can get to read that sports story on page 31 on Cameroon Tribune for this morning. From sports, we'll take you to politics with the reporter. The reporter Hebdo says Jean Kweti says Cameroon is not Gabon. That is what the Secretary General and Vice Prime Minister of the Republic tells Cameroonians. We'll move over to this one that says the Ministry of Defense. It says the Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of Defense, Joseph Betty, as Somo, congratulates the Cameroon Joint Force that were in the Central African Republic for peacekeeping mission. You won't find that story on the set paper for this morning. The Punch for this day says Tinubu's certificates prove alleged forgery beyond reasonable doubt. Supreme Court of Nigeria tells Atiku. Get to read details on that story on page 2. We'll move over to this other story that says Oyan Dam flood sacks Ogun's community. Government declares emergency. And we'll take you to UK courts dismisses 11 billion P&D suits. Nigerian demands damages. Federal government plans 10 million US dollars to stabilize the naira as the NNPC and for Forex. Get with more on the story from Nigeria. We remain in Nigeria this time around with the Nation. This Nation newspaper says Supreme Court grills Atiku's lawyers over Chicago State University documents of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the current president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For a crisis, it says federal government to inject 10 billion US dollars in weeks. Get with that story on that set paper. Victory in 11 billion US dollars P&ID UK case excites president the EFCC, that's the Economic Fighting Crime Commission of Nigeria. Let's come back to Cameroon this time around with Eko Sante. Eko Sante talks of the treatment of hepatitis C. He says it's now free as prescribed by the government of Cameroon. And the Yaoundé Central Hospital, the paper talks of the campaign against breast cancer that is gaining more steam at the Yaoundé Central Hospital. Just reiterates the month of October is the month of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, or Pink October. We'll take you to the economic paper of Le Quotidien Economy for this morning. It says Yaoundé. The paper reports on the chunk of bad roads that needs to be done in the political capital city of Yaoundé, as reported to us this morning by Quotidien Economy. We remain in Quotidien Economy this time around with trade. It says Cameroon to export 4,000 tons of onions. Cameroon exported 4,000 tons of onions in 2022. That is what that paper of Le Quotidien Economy tells us for this morning. We'll take you now to L'Activateur. L'Activateur for this day talks of the cocoa and coffee sector. It says the actors decorated that was done by the minister in charge of that sector. We'll take you to flashback on the demonstration of the Mark Force. You can find that story on that said paper. Mefo and Afamba division of the Central region. The paper talks on the heart of preparedness of the 7th edition of the departmental artisanal conclave that will be taking place in that part of Cameroon. Let's move away from that paper. We take you now to repair. Repair for this day talks on the Telecommunication Regulatory Board new office that was inaugurated by the Prime Minister, head of government. In the paper titles that for this morning as the head office of Eritrea. That is what you can find on that said paper. Hepatitis B is free of charge as regarding the treatment. As paper reports on some 100,000 CFA francs that used to be the treatment fee for hepatitis B will no longer be the case as government comes in to make it free of the treatment free of charge. That is what you can read on that said paper. African Four for this morning talks of Senegal Maritime Division of the South region. It says the mayor of Puma comes out as winner of the Palm d'Or in the littoral region. That is what you can find on that said paper for this morning. Let's move away from that publication to Innovation. Innovation newspaper for this day comes back to the Cameroon National Communication Council of Joseph Chibonken Kalabopse. It says Joseph Chibonken Kalabopse is now regularizing the social media sector. You can find that story on that set paper of Innovation for this morning. The Douala Port Authority says 12 billion CFA francs for acquisition of some new items that were bought by the Douala Port Authority of Sirius Ngor. We'll move over to the Herald Tribune. The Herald Tribune for this day says race for SDF top job manifestos drifting aspirants apart. That's what you can read on that set paper for this day. Sam Mala joins prestigious international fellowship in foresight and future. Get to read that story on that set paper. At 75th International Credit Union Day, Rainbow Camp enters students with employment opportunities. We'll take you to Bloggers Association to launch campaign to counter disinformation in the country of Cameroon. The Ministry of Decentralization and Local Development, whose Minister George Olanga Obam lays the foundation stone for the construction of the Northwest Regional Assembly that took place in Bamenda. You want to find that story on that set paper from the Northwest region for this morning. We take you now to the Times. The Times talks on Sunak chanting jihad is a threat to our democracy. That is what the Times newspaper tells us for this morning. The lies most women tell. Get to read more on the Eyes newspaper on the lies most women tell. The Daily Star for this day says, is there mice on Mars? That's the question that paper is asking for this day. We move over to the craze. It says why we are still fascinated. That is what you can read on that set paper. Daily Mirror for this morning talks of Tom Mabel's nightmare. It says why will no one help us? That's a question you can read on that set paper. Quiz Camara, I thought my family would be better off without me. Get to read more on that set paper. Let's take a stop with Metro. Metro talks of sleepover massacre inquiry, 51 death errors. That is what, so 51 deadly error, beg your pardon. That is what you can read on that set paper. Fragile actress Amanda Whitsley of Strictly. Get to read more on the paper and others you can find on the news kiosk. So with the Metro newspaper, this is where we draw the curtains of the paper review slot on Gbamu. Back to you, Rita Mapani Mujoko.
Thank you very much, Larry, and it's always amazing to have the reviews concerning what the newspapers are talking this morning. And yes, one of the few that I picked, and most importantly concerning the issue of the hepatitis B, I must say it's an amazing to know that the government is giving free treatment, and that is to say those who are suffering from that, then they have an opportunity to get free consultation and maybe follow up and treatment as far as that is concerned. Thank you once more, Larry.
You're welcome, my dear.
Okay, so Larry, we're having we have a topic of discussion, and this morning something came to my mind over the weekend, and I thought it was wise to ask our viewers what it is all about. And this is just talking about hotels. So let me ask you a question. What is the first thing that comes to your mind, or how do you feel when you see someone in a hotel premises? As
most people always say, it's when someone goes to a hotel is to go for for to have a bad experience.
Really, really.
So,
It love even you in this
of course,
21st century.
Of course, that's the mindset. That's the mindset. Why would it prompt you for you to leave your house or to live somewhere? You know,
seminars are being held in hotels, workshops, events of different kinds.
But in that same light,
relaxation and so on.
In that same light, when you are having where the seminar is taking place is in your same town, I don't see the need for you to go there. You just pocket your money and go to your house and have a bed rest. So that's the mindset of most people.
No, like I said, premises. I didn't say in a room. Like premises, it could be in the reception.
It's the same thing.
Could be just around. So that's the first thing that comes to your mind.
No, it depends. It depends on the individual.
Okay.
It depends on the individual. But most persons, I am speaking on
a personal level.
Not actual on personal level, on a popular level. So on a popular level, what many Cameroonians preconcept, or not only Cameroonians, it happens to human beings across the world, being in the US or the UK. I saw this guy in the hotel. So what are you doing there? So you can imagine. So that's just it.
Okay, let me just give you a quick one, like a quick scenario. Let's say you're walking into a hotel and you find this niece of yours seated at the reception. What's going to be your reaction?
What are you doing here? That's the first thing.
Okay, so what are you doing here? And what if she tells you she went there? Okay, let's say she went there. She's going there for maybe a seminar. How are you going to do that?
I said, well, if that's the case, continue with your seminar. But if something else, I don't see.
No, you look like Larry. The way I'm seeing you look like those kind of uncles that when you just see your niece in a hotel, you just say, this begin. What's it to do for you?
No. I'm a gentleman.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Are you sure? Can we testify to that?
Oh yeah, to the glory of God.
Really? And that's the vibe that goes on as far as the morning show is concerned. And yes, I've gotten Larry's own perception. He said he's just going to think about it. We all know, but then again, like we said, there are so many things that one can actually do in a hotel. There are different things that seminars, workshops, meetings, different events of different kinds and all sorts. That is to tell you that please, stop the thoughts, stop the thinking.
Let me just bow out with this funny video that I watched on this Facebook also. So there's this gentleman and a lady, they were entering into a hotel and someone was allegedly calling the wife. So yes, I can see your husband and the girl, they are entering into a hotel right now. So the lady, the man was saying, should I take a picture of him? So the man ran away, leaving the lady behind. So you can imagine. So that's just it.
I also watched the video. I think there were many of them, even including it was around the restaurant and including the ones that were seated for that. They got the call as well, and everybody took to their feet.
I think your wife was here with a man. So most of them even there, I know they were married, and everybody was having everybody was having her deuxième bureau. So
it's really deuxième bureau.
So they took to their heels. So that's how we call it in French. Deuxième bureau.
It's really deuxième bureau.
So that's just it.
Thank you so much, Larry, for coming. Yes, it's really deuxième bureau because I mean, if it's not your wife, tu fais quoi là-bas? Non, mais ce n'est pas normal.
C'est le deuxième bureau.
It's deuxième bureau, so please go to your premier bureau. Go to your premier bureau in the house. Your premier bureau is waiting for you. Your first lady is waiting for you. And I think if you have to do that particular one in Buea, like the story I was telling you guys this morning concerning what my friend gisted me about a certain environment here in Buea. According to her, that environment is like if somebody just sees you there, the person just know that this one like that, your own name. Or if you just tell a guy that okay, I live around this place, the person just knows that that means you are one promiscuous cuckoo. I don't want to finish the statement, but then again, I'm still waiting for your own contribution. And yes, we can't wrap up the show without talking some other interesting facts as far as the morning show is concerned. We take on this musical break, and when we come back, we talk something.
Yes. No, thank you very much.
You don't buy motor. Course. You don't buy motor.
This is another DJ.
Give me the mic, yo. Yeah. Hey.
Mon ami, dans la vie, les choses sont très compliquées. Je vais vous raconter une histoire de Paolo. Paolo a gagné sa vie, il donne pas moto. Et tous les jours dans les bateaux. Et il n'écoute pas les conseils de sa maman. Paolo changeait les petits amis comme les cabangondo. Et son entourage était là, et just follow, Paolo aimait de la ville, mais il a aussi oublié que le soleil ne brillera pas pour toujours. Il a quitté sa responsabilité. Toute la famille l'a supplié, mais il était occupé à s'amuser. Maintenant, le peuple don't red, I just talk am the way it is. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't bole for handy. L'argent don't bole for handy. Et quand l'argent est là, tes amis sont là. Si when money no dey, your friend go go.
Sois généreux n'importe comment, mais que l'argent ne finisse pas haut. Sois généreux comme jamais les taux, et que l'argent ne finisse pas haut. Si tu veux devenir même Papa Noël, mais n'oublie pas les cadeaux des enfants. Si tu veux devenir même Papa Noël, mais n'oublie pas les cadeaux des enfants. Sinon les enfants vont te fouiller, comme les femmes et les amis. Papa Noël est venu là oublier les cadeaux.
Mais il a aussi oublié.
Il est venu là oublier les cadeaux des enfants.
Il a quitté sa responsabilité. Toute la famille l'a supplié, mais il était occupé à s'amuser. Maintenant, le peuple don't red, I just talk am the way it is. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't bole for handy. L'argent don't bole for handy. Et quand l'argent est là, tes amis sont là. Si when money no dey, your friend go go.
Tonton Kossi.
Yes, Papa Longue. Talk make I hear.
Now who be your friend? Your friend that man when you go get champagne with you. That will get problem, you know the see. Now who be your friend? Now who be your friend? Now who?
Ya ije kaka kije, ije kaka kije, ije kaka kije. They don't go stand by you, why you, if you don't feel me, then sing a mega, yeah. L'argent don't finish for banco. L'argent don't finish for Hario. L'argent don't bole for Hario. L'argent don't bole for Hario. Et quand l'argent est là, tes amis sont là. Les amis sont là. See when money no dey, your friend go go. When money no dey, when money no dey, when money no dey,
K-Mix.
DJ Chris, you see me now?
Welcome back, and yes, as you all know, it is the breakfast show and we are about wrapping up, but we can't wrap up without bringing you interesting facts as far as the morning show is concerned. It is time for us to shift the cameras, shift the lights. When was the last time you heard about sports updates? This girl, she's been moving a lot these days, and the thing is, she goes like that and she does not even bring goodies for me. Can you imagine? Please guys, let's just join me. Let's talk to her. And she has open ayo, but this today like this, I came wearing my armor of attack. Good morning, Sunita.
Good morning, Rita Mafani Mojoko, and good morning to all the televiewers of High Television this morning.
And she's behaving as if she does not know she's the one I'm talking to. Can you guys imagine?
I'm lost.
You're lost.
But I'm going to pretend as if I'm not listening to what
you're
you're saying.
Where? Please, can we add the lights? You're lost. We will look for you.
Meaning, I don't know what you're talking about.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. And how have you been?
I've been doing okay. I miss you.
I know, right? It's always a warm atmosphere with me, and an exciting one for that matter.
Really?
I wouldn't want to say it out for the televiewers to know, but I always have a vibe. I always bring an interesting vibe.
What do they do with people who have pride? A little pride. How do they do with them?
Whether pride or not pride, you have to acknowledge when somebody gives you that comfortable atmosphere always.
Yeah, true. It is always a void when we don't talk about sports updates as far as the morning show is concerned. So I can't wait to get what has been happening.
Yeah, there's been a lot in terms of the sport decks, especially with some controversial issues for a Southwest team, and alongside the Guinness Super League that was postponed, which kicked off during the weekend, so even the M10 Elite Tour that will be played in the days ahead, and a couple of other interesting sports stories that I will be giving to you this morning.
I can't wait to fill my cup. Right on.
Thank you very much, Rita Mafani, for the opportunity. And once more, good morning to all the televiewers of High Television this morning. It's time for sports on the Gbamu corner this morning. And yes, this morning we are going to begin with some controversies that happened over there in Limbe about Victoria United after not showing up for match day 5 of the MTN Elite 1 Championship, where after attending the technical meeting approximately about 12 p.m. On Saturday, the 21st of October, it happened that at 3 p.m. where the game was supposed to be played, this particular Southwest side counting for match day 5 against Apigel actually transpired, or what is happening for them not to have showed up where the opponent was already there in the field just waiting for them. And mind you that a lot of spectators who travel from far and near were at the Limbe Centenary Stadium before even 3 p.m. but unfortunately went home disgruntled and dissatisfied after the team that they are actually looking up to didn't show up in terms of this particular match day 5 encounter, and it has been bringing in a lot of controversies. We're talking about Victoria United who did not show up for their match day 5, and this particular absence or absenteeism has brought in a lot of controversies. What could be the problem internally and externally with the club? What is actually happening that this particular side did not show up on Saturday, the 21st of October 2023. And the big question is, who picked up a victory, who picked up a defeat? We'll go straight away to Group A, where we talk about Dynamo. Dynamo actually picked up a 2-1 defeat against Bamboo Tools, and mind you that Bamboo Tools is the team that has actually why not stopped Dynamo's winning runs in terms of the MTN Elite 1 after match day 5. We'll go straight away to Column. Column picked up a 2-1 victory against Desastre, and Canon picked up a 0-0 draw against Union, while PWD picked up a 1-0 victory against RS Fortuna after why not losing some particular games, and they are coming back with a 1-0 win against RS Fortuna. Egle as well picked up a 1-1 draw against Gazelle, while Group B sees Victoria United against Apicias. No score because of Victoria United absence during that particular game, in as much as the opponent were very much present already at the Limbe Centenary Stadium just waiting for that particular score. And this particular result will be why not waiting on Faker Foot to decide on what is going to transpire. But following the Faker Foot rules, it is supposed to be a 3 points for this particular game. We'll go straight away to Stade Renard. Stade Renard picked up a 1-0 victory against Yosa. Cotton Sport of Galwa whitewash UMS of Loom 4-1, still on the result of the M10 Elite 1 Championship match day 5, and where we see Fufu Azobu lost 3-0 against Fufu Club of Baham. Away from that, we'll go straight away to the standings of the M10 Elite 1 Championship, where Group A finds Dynamo FC at the first position with 10 points after 5 days played, followed by Bamboo Tools 9 points, Canon 8 points, and at the fourth position is Gazelle FA with 8 points after 5 games played, 2 wins, 2 draw, and 1 defeat. And Lesasco follows with 7 points, PWD 7 points Union, 6 points Colomb, 5 points AS Fortuna, 5 points, and at the 10th position is Eglo with 2 points. Meanwhile, Group B sees Stade Renard topping this particular group with 10 points after 4 games played. Fubu follows with 9 points, Coton Sport of Garoua 8 points, Avion 5 points, Fubu Azul 4 points, Apajas 3 points, and at the 7th position is Victoria United with 3 points and UMS of Bloom 2 points. At the 9th position of Group B is Yosa with 2 points, and so far that is the standings of both the M10 Elite 1 Championship. And mind you that this particular championship will be on the hold for 14 good days as the clubs have to wind out west to come back or to continue the first round after 14 days, and why not pleading that after this particular 14 days all the unanswered questions for Victoria United's absence and going back to the championship will be why not answered. We'll go straight away to the Guinness Super League. The Guinness Super League that started over the weekend. We'll go straight away to the result so far, where we found Authentic of Douala that picked up a 4-2 victory over Lekki Fees. AS1 picked up a 2-1 defeat against Itambong, and equally Edin Fees picked up a 2-1 victory over AS Fortuna. A clear Afsa beat up Nja Sport. 1 goes to Nulwa FC Obolowa, Whitewash Loves Improve 3 goals to 0. So far, that has been the result for match day 1 of the Guinness Eco over there in Douala. And yes, the M10 Elite 2 will be commencing in less than 24 hours with why not match day 1 fixtures for both Group A and Group B, and mind you that after it was postponed because we had to reinstate Panther in there, and after that new draws were taken, and the first match day is going to see Tonnerre Calabar that is going to lock horns with Ras Renaissance of the Gbamu for Group A, while Group B is going to see Edin, which is going to lock horns with AS Fab of Yaoundé. So far, that is going to be the match results, opening games especially for the 2023-2024 M10 Elite 2 season. These 4 clubs are going to wind up make their way tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th of October 2025, over there in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, both at the military stadium. And away from the M10 Elite 2 fixtures for the commencement of this particular season, we'll go straight away to the Lionesses. Yes, we told you that after not picking the qualification ticket against Gambia over them, we now go straight away where they're preparing for the Olympics, the 2024 Olympics, which is going to, why not, they will have to, why not, meet up with Uganda. And to tell you that they traveled yesterday to Uganda, where they are going to be meeting other Lionesses to join them as they are going to prepare for the 2024 Olympics qualifier against Christette Crenance over there in Uganda. And it's with the Lionesses and sports story that I draw the curtains in terms of this particular game for the Olympics, the 2024 Olympics for the Lionesses, that I say bye-bye. Thank you once more, Arita Mafani, for this privilege.
Thank you too, Sonita, for bringing us those spots of this. And I must say, it has been a void, like I said before, and I'm sure those who must have, been waiting to get what the sports Dex is talking about and what has been happening as far as Victoria United is concerned. Must have gotten a lot concerning that, and so don't join those who are saying whatever they are saying. As we all know, information, they say, is power, but misinformation could be dangerous to you and to the society at large. Thank you once more, Sunita.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I was having a nice time over the weekend, precisely at Sinclair. There was an event there concerning poetry and slam. As a lover of arts that I am, I love to see actions of art, actions of peace. So I met with this friend while I was I left the taxi while I dropped from the taxi and I was about entering. I met with this friend and the friend was like, "Oh, Rita, it's actually a friend from, you know, way back, a long time friend." And the friend was like, "Rita, what's going on? How have you been? What has been happening to you?" You know this exchange of, you know, friendship, long time kind of thing. And then we greeted each other. It was a nice time going on. Then we tried to, you know, talk, you know, try to catch up back. And then she was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing here?" You know, there is "what are you doing here" in a subtle way, and then there is "what are you doing here," like that kind of, you know, restrained, you know, smile, constrained smile and all of that. I was like, "Well, I'm here for an event. I came to attend an event." And then she was like, "Events, really?" And I was like, but I didn't really quite get the look. I was still trying to picture. Then it came to my mind, like, do people in this 21st century, like, you see someone in a hotel premises and you behave very, very funny. So a quick one, what is the first thing that comes to your mind, or how do you perceive when you see someone in the premises of a hotel?
Now, it depends on the personality.
Okay.
To start not being
The worst case scenario, let's say she went to school and now she does not have a uniform on, she has a dress.
Definitely.
Oh.
But now, if I'm in a hotel, I'm a journalist. In hotels, we have events, we have conference halls, and there might be an event that I've been called there. And even if the person is not a journalist, but as far as a mature person, doesn't necessarily mean that the person is there for the best satisfaction that we know that is what.
As referred to Paul, as Paul will refer to it, an affair.
Definitely an affair. Though there are people who go to hotels to have. You understand? I cannot say in the hotel start questioning that I return my funny. What are you doing in the hotel?
Imagine as a bit like this, an aunt of mine just sees me in the hotel like, I'm just
I think these are ideas that we should start keeping behind. But if you see a teenager,
calls for concern.
Definitely there is something that she's looking for, which we both know that it is not going to help her. So I think that you don't just see somebody in a hotel that you conclude, or rather, and she cannot tell me that her teacher asked her to come and wait, of all places, why hotel? So
I'm thinking of the excuses that they can
bring. My slipper skirt, and this was the next available place I could come and ask for help.
No. My teacher asked me to drop something here. I think that's believable. And you're not putting they don't enter hotels with school uniform.
You don't enter hotels with school uniform. Did you communicate to me in the house? You didn't. So you see that it's a whole lot.
It's a whole lot.
Depending on the personality and depending on what the person is coming to do there. Like for instance, like I said, I cannot meet my younger sister in the hotel. She tells me that her teacher asks her to come. I will start beating you from there.
It's like you're one of those wild sisters.
Definitely.
The wild
that's why I'm saying that if you left the house and you communicated to me that hey Dixie, after school I'll be rushing to this hotel. Because sometimes you might not even be the one to see them, but another outsider can call you and say, "Hey, your younger sister is in a hotel, a 5-star hotel, and she's not in her uniform and it's cool ass." And I'm like, you must be joking. Can I have a picture of her? And in a twinkle of an eye, I'm seeing a picture of my younger sister in a hotel. Then we are gonna put on the same trouser that day.
But you know, I sat the other day and I'm like, I feel like some parents nowadays I think they are really taking the wrong step and they are leaving their children they are leading. I should not say they are leading them the wrong way, but there's a lot of laissez-faire. There's a lot of laxity. I mean, the way some of them are growing up, I'm scared. I must say, I'm really scared. You find a young girl of maybe from 4, from 5, the kind of dresses that they put on, and the thing is, you're leaving your house at that time. Your mother and father